Hey everybody, I am Tommy Scoville and you're on the Lifeboat. What's happening? Alan B, good to see you. My brother Alan Valentine. Hey Kenneth, good to see you. Bruce, glad you're here. Dixie 504. Very, very rough few days. Very angry with myself. Oh, well, we can't have that. Let's start with that. We'll probably just listen, but want to say how much I love y'all. Well, we love you too. Do not beat up on yourself. It's absolutely counterproductive. It really is. Whatever you did it yesterday, right? So let's get it done with, put it in the rearview mirror, right? I get angry with myself. I'm super guilty of this, but the faster you can put that anger behind you, self-forgiveness is huge, right? We're really good at forgiving other people. Sometimes we suck at forgiving ourselves, but let's work on it because it's a good thing. I promise it will come back and thank you in the long run. You got to take my word on this one. Balake, good to see you. I am doing well, man. Glad you're here. You know what? It was hard to go live today, people. It was. There were so many content creators that I dig that happen to be live right now that it was a struggle. It's not always easy to go live. I was like, hey, Aaron is over there and he's got on, my lawyer friend, Zach. And of course, Reese is live. Hello, Brandon Galloway. Good to see you, my brother. Glad you're here. Reese is live, and I'm not going to lie to you. I really enjoy watching Reese, but I'm going to go back and catch it when this one is over. I bought this watch, and it is so not used that I haven't even broken the band end, and the watch is as old as I am, but I got it really, I got it in beautiful condition, and it's not even been broken in. Calhounas, I hope my son's all right. I hope he didn't get shot. It looks like the camera just, there he is. Oh, look like the camera immediately, you see it in movies where all of a sudden the cameras, my producer looked like all of a sudden everything went bad. Good to see you, Meredith Lynn. Hey, sweet tea. 17K, right? A few hundred subscribers in the last day. Those 300 came in the last day. Can you believe that? How cool is that, people? That's a lot of word of mouth stuff. It really is. The Danny Masterson, look, man, it is what it is. Danny is not my favorite subject matter. It really isn't. But it certainly brings in a lot of views and it brings in a lot of people. Hey, Aaron is done? Excellent. Well, then that audience is going to split between me and the lovely Reese. I will go back and watch Reese, though, and I'm sure everybody here will go back and watch Reese, so it works out. I wanted to give a huge shout out to Mary Jones. I'll tell you something. You want to see the coolest thing ever? Look at this. Remember Hope. You see that? Right? This is from Shawshank, people. No joke. This is from Shawshank Prison. And it currently has beverage in it. I want to tell you something. Mary sent so many gifts that it was almost embarrassing. Very cool mug, right? Also, oh boy. Do you see that? Yeah, that's where Red was hanging out. That's where Andy Dufresne was hanging out. It's crazy. And check this out. There were several of these actually, but this is top shelf right here. Look at that. Captain Tommy Scoville. Is this cool? Life is better on the Lifeboat. And this is actually filled up. I know, this was so cool. And I'm telling you, people, you're looking at about 3% of what was sent. I mean, this box was massive. And the funny thing is, the box came in and we were running errands. Well, there are 2 Scovilles, right? And we assumed it was Johnny's. And then at the last second, he was like, hey, you might want to look at this. There was stuff in there for Johnny. And I'm not saying this to make her happy, but I have never seen Squirrel freak out more over a gift. She had a what looks like a pickle in there, right? Kind of a big dill. It actually says that on it, kind of a big deal. And it has this crinkly sound inside. So Squirrel dropped, immediately started kicking the hell out of it. And the more noise something makes, the more she's into it. I love Andy Dufresne too. That's a great story. Shawshank Redemption, hands down my favorite prison film of all time. There will never be anything that touches it. That prison film is freaking remarkable. But I'll tell you something. There's a quote in there about hope being a good thing, maybe being the best thing. But I'll tell you something. Inside prison, it's a dangerous thing. No joke at all. It is a dangerous thing. Canada loves you too, Tommy. Thank you. You know what? I want to tell you something. The Canadian audience is the second largest audience that the Lifeboat has. We have more crew members in Canada than we have any place other than the United States. And then, believe it or not, the Aussies have passed the Brits I know Alan Ballantyne has pretty much done that single-handedly. Alan is a de facto, literally, Alan is just a part of the lifeboat. He's I don't know, he's more than crew. Alan's my best friend, but on top of that, he was here for the really ridiculous, cool growth spurt that we took on, and it was so much fun, people. It was so great having. You got to realize what that was. Right? That was a guy that met me on the lifeboat, just a crew member of the lifeboat that became a really, really close friend and a confidant and somebody that I talk to every single week. There she is. What's happening, Squirrel Nut? And somebody that I talk to every week. He's a very close, member of my sobriety team. But he just happened, his vacation happened to time perfectly with the Danny Masterson sentencing. And by an act of God, a grace of God, we got into that sentencing. The lifeboat has an office address on Sunrise in Tucson. And if one of my wrenches could put up the address for the boat, we absolutely do have an address that you can mail to. Denmark is probably the last one on the list. No, we definitely would have people smaller than Denmark. We have people from Denmark. You are not alone. Kirsten, I promise you are not alone. Squirrel was making Tommy late to the live stream. Actually, there's a lot of truth to that. That cat is, I don't know, man. She's been on one. There's Mary Jones right there. Correct. Candy corn. That is Christmas candy corn, people. Yeah, we're keeping the candy corn thing going. Can anybody write to Danny in jail? That's a great question. Can you put Mara's question up there? Okay. And the answer is you betcha you can write to him. You want to write a letter to old Danny? All you need is his registration number, sometimes by the fellas called a back number, right? But his reg number, we can get it put up there. It is public information. You absolutely can write him a letter. And he's a star. I guarantee you he's going to get a lot of mail. Whether or not he opens it, I did not open the stuff that I got. I was not a star, but I got a lot of mail, a lot of really weird people that there are some bank robbery. I don't know what you call them. People that really like bank robbers. I got a lot of stuff mailed in. Oh my God, it's hard. Candy corn is just, I'm sorry. I love candy corn. I know that people rag on candy corn. I love candy corn. Q is in what is called a communication management unit. Q for a host of reasons. Is in a restricted, yes is the answer. You can write to Q, but it is a really long process to get approved. But if you write to me, I can start the process. I am doing it for some people. It is a long process, and it doesn't always work. It depends on your past as well. My favorite prison movie ever is The Green Mile. Great movie. The Green Mile is an excellent movie. I dropped a couple of John Coffey jokes today. I don't know what it is, but when someone says that I need to get coffee, I just want to say John Coffey every time. And I did have to go out today to buy some coffee. So I dropped the John Coffey joke on my brother Johnny 3 or 4 times while we were out. Candy corn is for crayon eating psychos. Okay. All right. I'll take that. It's been a very long time since I ate any crayons. Calhoun was pretty fond of just snapping them in half, peeling them. He liked to take the labels off of them and then just snap them in half. I don't know what it was about that, but he really, really dug it. He was hell on wheels when it came to crayons. Peanut butter M&Ms are excellent. I like those. I prefer, by the way, the tree at the end of Shawshank isn't there anymore. Got hit by lightning. Good story. Dig that. Tommy, question. Can you go back up for my prison movie? I know we're going fast. Okay, go back up. Calhoun, can you find what she was talking about with her prison movie? I bet you he can. Oh, yes. Yes. Calhoun would also like to. He figured out that if you got them warm, you could play with them. So he would leave the crayons on anywhere where there was a heater, like a radiator or something like that. And then he would have an awful lot of fun making cool shapes out of them. because Spanx Calhoun was that kid. If you took a nap, right? If you were dad and you took a nap on the weekends, Calhoun would go and get anything that was powdered and make a pile of it on the floor in the kitchen. So that would be sugar, powder, baking soda, anything mom had in the cupboards. I would wake up and go, "Oh, you have got to be woofing me." He was really he was a challenging child. You were a crayon peeler? Okay, you get it then. You get it then. There is something satisfying about taking apart crayons. I don't know what it is, but there is something very satisfying about it. I would be lying if I told you there wasn't. If you write a letter to Danny that says the unsavory things you think of him, will prison read the mail first and not give it to him? Asking for a friend. I don't doubt you're asking for a friend. Let me tell you what I would tell your friend. There is nothing at all that would stop them from handing a letter to him. The only reason that the letter would not get to him is because of a threat. If you said, "I kill you when you get out," that kind of thing, that's not going to get to him. And it may get to somebody that you don't want it to. So don't threaten him, but you can tell him he's a lousy, no good piece of crap, right? There's no problem there. You can do that. I would try to be as articulate as possible because you got a better chance of getting it by censors. If it's really, really belligerent, they may just crumple it up and put it in the trash. But there's nothing illegal or anything about. I got some hate mail. From people I had never met. Actually, I got some hate mail. Thank you, Snotface. I dig the name Snotface. I think I probably have told you that a few hundred times, but I do dig it. I must say, Tommy, I remember a really horrible prison movie I saw. I believe it won an Oscar. So hard to watch, I blocked it out. But it's Midnight Express. Oh, Lord. The true story of Billy Hayes. Very, very familiar with Billy Hayes, Henny, and I'm glad that you brought him up because it is an excellent film. And I'll tell you what, the book is 100 times better. The movie takes a lot of artistic license. There's a lot in that movie that did not take place. But his real story is just as good, if not better, than the real movie. It's a fascinating, fascinating story. And he is still with us, or was as of a couple of years ago. Very, very interesting case. And one of the great scenes ever. I saw that movie prior to internationally smuggling drugs. No joke. I saw that movie, and the opening scene in that, he's smuggling hash through a airport in Turkey. And there's this scene as he's walking, and you hear, and it's his heart inside his ears. And I remember, for those who are new to the boat, there was a time where I was smuggling a large amount of cocaine into another country, and they didn't want me taking snakeskin into the country, and requested that I remove the boots that I was wearing and leave them there. And it was a incredibly stressful moment. And fortunately, at the very end, at the very last moment, they decided that they were not real snakeskin and that I could take them with me. But if I had taken the boots off, that's where the blow was, and it all would have fallen on the ground. And they were asking me to take the boots off, and I was hearing the thump, 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 thump in my ears, and it was awful. And for that reason, I've hated that film ever since. I don't like that movie. I don't even like thinking about it. Sean Matthew says, "Have you been following the Idaho for Brian Koberger?" Yes, I have. I have been following it. It is that case gets more bizarre by the day. Right. And I am going to be doing some stuff about it in the upcoming, in the next couple of days. Shannon Lee says, Florida is where it's at. Good. Question, Tommy. Have you seen the movie Shot Caller yet? I have not seen the movie Shot Caller. And depending on when it was made, my brother, I probably cannot see a movie called Shot Caller. I guess depending. I did watch Jericho Miles, Steve. I thought I had written you back. That's a movie I had seen before you sent me that clip. Jericho Mile is actually a pretty amazing prison film, but I saw that so long ago. I saw that movie before I think I ever went to prison the first time. Jericho Mile is a great film. It is. It's a good film. Somebody asked a question the other day about the actor Danny Trejo. Did he ever come to a prison I was at? And the answer to that question is no, he did not. He has gone to a lot of prisons and spoken, which I think is fantastic. He never went to one that I went to. A lot of people have been asking me if I would be willing to go in and speak in prisons. Yeah, love it. Nothing in the world would make me happier. If you are in a position and you can get me in to speak at a prison, get it done. I'll go speak there. Plain and simple. If you can get me into a prison to talk to inmates, I'm there. I'll go do it. So if you're that person, reach out to me. I will happily. You were at San Quentin when he showed up, says Russ. Very cool. I know a lot of people that have seen him, man. A lot of people that have seen Danny Trejo. I have not. I have seen, and while I was in prison, they showed us movies of him going to see other prisons. They actually showed us one where he was going to the feds. Yeah, he does a hell of a presentation. He's a great story. He really is. He's a guy that was in the life, like deep in the life. And you know what? He was in the right place at the right time and had the balls, pardon me. He's highly respected, to be sure. In and out of the joint. He's highly respected. You would highly recommend Shot Caller for me. I would love to watch it. I don't know if you've all heard this, but I really struggle watching films these days. I can't really watch them anymore. You know what? Thank everybody. I agree with you. Thank everybody for keeping this boat afloat. Great people. They really are. Every last one of them. Alan Ballantyne, thank you for all that you do. Connie, glad you're here. Coolest cats on the block. You know what? The Lifeboat's a pretty amazing little channel, to be sure. I'm drinking from my Shawshank mug. There was a short scene in the original Death Wish that was filmed in the Tucson airport closing scene. I'm so glad you told me that. Would you like to hear the tie-in? I got a tie-in for you. So my family owns a piece of property in the Northeast, and the next door neighbor for that property was, and still is, it's the Bronson family, Charles Bronson's family. Growing up, it was Charles Bronson's property, and he was neighbors with my grandmother. And we used to go over and hang out with his youngest daughter. We would go to her birthday party. I mean, their youngest child, who was a girl, was my age. She was a few years younger than me, and grew into just a unbelievably beautiful young woman. Wouldn't be very young these days, but and her name was Zuleika Bronson. We lived very close to them. Beautiful, beautiful property. You can't do Facebook, so these lives are my connection. So much gratitude for this place. You know what? It's a pretty cool thing. Facebook, look, man, we use Facebook as a way so that people can exchange information, because to do it in the comment section is bad. That's kind of all we're looking to do, right? We're looking for other platforms so that people can get together and exchange information so that you guys can connect on a deeper level than you're going to be able to do in the comment section of a YouTube channel. That's really all we're doing there. I'm not a fan of whatever the hell they call it. Meta now? Meta? Is it Meta? Whatever they call it. It's bad. Yeah, I don't do anything on Facebook. If you've ever reached out and asked to be a friend of mine on Facebook, I apologize. I probably did not accept any of you. I just don't do it, right? I just don't do it. I'm not a Facebook guy. The only thing I do on Facebook is I go on the Lifeboat Facebook group page. I don't do anything else. Anything else. I don't do it. It's not really my get down. I was never a fan of to be really honest with you, I was never a fan of the Death Wish franchise of films. I really wasn't. However, he did a movie called Telethon, which I thought was incredible. He did a couple of really good films. Not a very tall guy. I think he was about Tom Cruise height. Right. Christian B., how do you share info for others to contact you outside of here without sharing private info with everybody? If you're trying to contact me, then you send me an email, sober@myyahoo.com, sober@myyahoo.com. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Henny, no, I was not a huge fan of the franchise. I really wasn't. I I did, however, really dig Telethon and a couple of other films that he did. You know, they had the if you remember, they used Robert Frost's poem, uh, the one about the woods filling up with snow in the winter. Great poem. Whose woods are these? I think I know. His house is in the village, though. You will not see me stopping here to see his woods fill up with snow. That one. The woods are silent, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. Jill Ireland was very good friends with my grandmother. They got along great. Beautiful woman, very kind woman. My grandmother loved her. New England Coast. Kristen would like a lobster roll, please. Felon is one of my favorite movies by Val. Val Kilmer is a genius. I have been a huge Val Kilmer fan for a very, very long time. I thought Val Kilmer playing playing Doc Holliday. I thought his portrayal of Doc Holliday was absolutely incredible. I thought that was just really, really a very, very. It was a great portrayal. Sorry. Yeah, there we go. Tombstone, Calhoun. Thanks. That's what I was looking for. I'll be your Huckleberry. Yes, that is the film. I have been told by numerous people that the Huckleberry was the nail that they used to use to keep a coffin from when the wood would expand, it would keep the coffin from opening. It was a nail that had a bit of a bend in it, kind of like an S, and it would keep things from coming up, right? That kind of thing. So when he was saying, I'll be your Huckleberry, he was basically saying, I'll be the last nail that they'll put in your coffin. This is how this was explained to me by a crew member of the Lifeboat. Elkie says, hi from Australia. You are definitely one of my favorite people on YouTube. Thanks for your amazing insights. Wow, what a cool thing to say. I do pretty well with the Aussies. I think you're all on drugs, right? Must be why the Lifeboat gels so well with the people of Australia. I'm kidding. I always, though, have, before the Aussies caught on with the computer system and got really good at finding out you were a felon, I went there a couple of times and huge fan of Australia. Had a great time there. And the boat has a lot of connections to the people in Australia. A lot of help in the beginning with, of course, Alan Ballantyne and Lady Crispin, and just a lot of Aussies. Zelda says my favorite actor my favorite actor is Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken's he's a funny guy, as you know. We are fans of just a little more cowbell. A little more cowbell. You can't really have enough. Is it me? Or can you not have enough cowbell? How cool is that? I do believe that I have done a lot of traveling. To be sure, I've done a lot of traveling. I think I think that being here a lot will absolutely change your outlook. It really will. You got a lot of people. Did someone say twig and berries? I don't remember saying twig and berries, but but that's funny. Have to sneak out people with a neighbor. We'll catch you on the replay. Love y'all. Good for you. Sneak out with that neighbor. Have fun. Be careful. I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell. That's such a great scene. It's really one of the dumbest things ever, but it's just so funny. And you know what? My dad loved it. My dad absolutely loved it. My mom still laughs hysterically every time it comes on. Laughs out loud. It's one of my favorite things about that is my mom literally laughs out loud every time it comes on. The cowbell thing is just, it's so funny. Amazing dancer. I think you got to be talking about Will Ferrell because nobody works a room. Don't be afraid to explore the whole space. Get in there. Oh, with his stomach hanging out. I mean, that is just, the kind of shameless acting. How committed to your craft you have to be to just say, you know what? I'm going to put my tummy out there and I'm going to push it out even further. Yeah, it's just amazing stuff. My son had that bumper sticker on the car. Nice. Fill the room, baby. Work it. Listen, you're going to want more cowbell. Trust me. Love the Shawshank mug. Is that not cool? That is a gift and a beautiful gift. One of so many and one of the greatest concept ever. This is a bummer for me. I'm not going to lie to you because there were gifts in there for Johnny and myself where there are these little pouches that are crocheted. So you put a bar of soap in the pouch. You go and you shower with this thing in the pouch, right? It basically takes care of the soap. Why no one in prison has ever done this, right, is beyond me. It is absolutely beyond me. Like when I pulled the thing out, I went, oh, you got to be woofing me. Like this is the greatest concept in history. And I've never seen anybody in prison do it. And we all crochet. Like everybody in prison knits, crochets, everything. No one, I've never seen anybody crank anything like that out. But I'm very, very excited about it. I really am. The Wharton Thistle likes the tonk of a good wood block as well. Yes, I like where this is going. However, nobody ever says, I need a little more wood block, right? I think that it was the famous Bruce Dickinson, right, who said, I need a little more cowbell. He didn't say, I could use a little more wood block. He said, I need a little more cowbell. Caroline, hi, Tommy. Love you and your channel. Oh, that's a hat trick. If you love squirrel, we're set. That's the hat trick right there. And if you don't like squirrel, well then, we have problems. I'm still laughing at Reese's reaction to Tommy telling her how Skittles are used for makeup. Yeah, that was pretty funny stuff. You know what? She's fun to mess with. Yeah, people, I pick on her, but someone explained to me why you and Reese are on at the same time. Before you give me any nyat about that, let's be honest. I'm live on the fives. 365 days a year, right? I go live at 5 a.m. I go live at 5 p.m. I contemplated shutting down the show because she was live. But it is when I do my shows and people have come to count on those times. Need a little more Lindsey Buckingham. Nothing wrong with Lindsey Buckingham. Yeah, I do always try to do my shows at the exact same time. And I just got a text. I'm not texting back mid-show. This is a Royal Oak is what I am wearing. I got a text that said, what kind of watch is that? I'm wearing a Royal Oak. But I'm not texting because I will just stare down and then people will laugh at me. And I don't want to do that. A wood block just doesn't have that ring to it when spoken. See, Wharton gets it, but Wharton's always been that dude. Wharton's also very quick on his feet. Arwin Hardy says, love Lindsey Buckingham. You got to. For those who don't know, oh no, I shouldn't even enlighten you. If you don't know who Lindsey Buckingham is, shame on you. All right. Lindsey Buckingham plays guitar for a band called Fleetwood Mac. You may have heard of them. Mail theft is one of those things that people think is serious until you try to report it to law enforcement, and then they say, just go get a P.O. box. Really? I know people that did time for it. I saw that, Mary Jones. I saw that. I put it in there for you, Johnny, Mama Scoville, your son, your daughter. Tried to reflect your personality. I'll tell you what, and I was saying earlier, Squirrel has never attacked anything in her life like she did that pickle thing. I'm not kidding. I threw it on the floor. She walked over and like she was bored and wanted nothing to do with it. Like she was going to walk by and stood on it with her back feet. And when it made that crinkling thing, she just went freaking postal. And for about 20 minutes, she is sound asleep right now because she is out. Found your show clean since the 10th. Jittery as a mother, you know what. But do you know what that gets you? Since the 10th, by the way, I'm not concerned, right? If the DTs were going to be a real issue, they would have been. Good to know that, right? You've been clean for that long. You're out of the, because I hope it wasn't cold turkey. God, but thank God you're, hey, you're there. This is for you, the official participation trophy of the Lifeboat. Question, why are cats scared of cucumbers? I'll be really honest with you. I don't think cats are scared of cucumbers. You can get anything at all and put it behind a kitty when they're eating. those videos that you watch, kitties do not like being messed with while they eat. So if you put something behind them that was not there, when they turn and see it, it tends to make them panic. This is my theory because I've watched it done with things other than cucumbers. Personally, I will not mess with my kitty while she eats. I don't want to do anything to bum Squirrelette. Unlike most cats I know, Squirrel is really not too concerned about eating. She doesn't like, her ears don't go back or any of that stuff. You could touch her while she eats. She doesn't care. But she's a very relaxed cat in this environment. She seems to have adapted a lot better to Arizona than she did to her previous home. She really is relaxed here. She does. It's the shape, I think, too, Huckleberry. I think there might be something to that. It could be the shape of it. But again, I don't want to see my kitty jump in the air. If it happens, I giggle because it's funny, but I don't go out of my way to do anything like that. I don't know. I'm one of those. I'm in that percentage of people that have the. I'm so in love with cats. It's ridiculous. It's just one of those things. Like I'm a cat guy. I'm a cat guy. It's a scary shape, no question, right? And it's a pickle. Pickle. But Squirrel is not afraid of this one, but she does like to kick the snot out of it. I mean, this was a happy cat. Johnny was like, "Good Lord, that's the toy for this cat." I'm here more for the prison system insights. Well, here we go. Let's see. I'm another of those women who likes watching serial killer docus. Okay. I think we watch them so that we know what could happen out there. You know what? The prison stuff fascinates a lot of people, and I don't mind talking about the prison stuff. I don't mind answering questions about the prison stuff. I don't want to be a prison channel. I don't ever want to be a prison channel. I'm not going to let my life be defined by the fact that I went to prison. But I do not have a problem talking about it. I don't have a problem answering questions about it. And I know that there are a lot of people that really, really dig it. Just as an FYI, I'm 16 days sober off my Klonopin taper today. Other than everything else terrible going on, I am incredibly proud of myself. You should be. You should be. This is, if you do not understand the severity of tapering off of a benzodiazepine, it's a very difficult thing to do. And this is not Valium. This is the top of the food chain there are very few benzos stronger than this. And doctors in the US aren't writing scripts for things stronger than clonazepam. That's really the top of the food chain for that. And, that's a drug that if you cold turkey off, it'll kill you. It's a very, very hard drug to wean off. And I am terribly, terribly impressed with, with what you've been able to do. So good for you. I read that when cats blink at you, it's them saying, "I love you." There's a lot of truth to that, right? A slow blink or a one-eye blink. And Squirrel does it to me constantly. But whenever I tell people that, they laugh at me. But it is absolutely the truth. Crazy Brumfield says, "Congratulations on 16 days." And Hummingbird says, "Congratulations." Right? There's a lot of that going around. You know why? Because people are proud of you. For real, Quiet Girl. It's good stuff. Really, really good stuff. Henny says, "Quiet Girl, that's great. You should be so proud." I wouldn't want to watch the show. It was more about prison. Yeah, you know what? The prison thing, look, a bunch of people are fascinated by it. And more often than not, the people that get out and talk about prison, it's a prison show. I think that what makes the Lifeboat unique is that, we talk about a lot of things, right? The goal of this channel is to provide a place for addicts to get together where we're not treated like weirdos, right? Here we can come together and we can talk about anything that's bothering us, and we don't have to go through the process of trying to explain the unexplainable. Why would a guy get out of prison from bank robbery, right? After marrying a beautiful, woman that, I had a wife, I had everything. It made no sense to come out and do heroin. Why would you do that again? Makes no sense, right? So if I try to have a conversation about my life with someone that doesn't understand addiction, I spend 45 minutes with them just going, "Yeah, I cannot understand why you would ever do that." Of course you don't. It doesn't make any sense to someone who's not an addict. But addicts go, "Oh yeah, I've been there," right? You got out and you just thought, "Well, I got to go back to what I know," right? That's what addicts do. We go to the lowest common denominator, which is what we know. Larry Lawton, First of all, I met Larry just once, not in person, but Larry and I spent some time in a green room. We've gone on, I don't know whether we've done one show or two shows together. I think we might have done two, but we've gone on Surviving the Survivor together, and we hit it off. I like Larry Lawton. He's a solid convict, and I like what Larry's doing with his channel. I do. It's not what I'm doing with mine. I have a very different kind of goal for what I want. I had a message. I came on I came on YouTube because there was something I needed to say. Right. I just had something that I had to say. So I think that Larry gives great insight into prison, and he had a fascinating criminal life. He really did. The guy was a jewel thief. Larry's a fascinating guy. And it's a good sized niche, the prison channels. And I know I could be successful quicker if I turn this into a prison channel. I know I could be successful quicker if I turn this into a purely anti-Scientology channel. But I have a message, I got a message that I'm really trying to get out. Surviving the Survivor. I've been on Surviving the Survivor, I don't know how many times, a bunch. I am good friends with Joel. In fact, this is funny. You guys will get a kick out of this, but Joel texted me yesterday because Danny Masterson, was going to his forever home. Well, you've probably heard. Good, leave that one up there, Calhoun. You've probably heard Joel talk about what he's most afraid of in life would be to end up in prison, and we joke about it all the time. So he sent me a text last night and said, "Oh man, Danny Masterson." He said, "I think I'd rather be dead than be him." And I said, "You know what? Yeah, I mean." And then he went on to say, "But what a dirtbag! He put himself there." He's one of us. But yeah, I do Surviving the Survivor every chance I get. It's one of my favorite show channels to go on. I mean, he won an Emmy. He's an award-winning. He's a real journalist. But it's him and his mom and his wife. And the whole family. They're just great people. I dig it. And Larry I've been on panels with Larry on that show before. Yeah, the Lifeboat. The Lifeboat. Well, we're all crazy. I mean, so what draws me to Alice in Wonderland? You were curious about that. All right. True story. The first girl that I ever fell in love with was leaving the country. Carm is amazing, isn't she? Carm's fantastic. I love Carm. I love COE. I love everybody over there. It's a great family group. They reach out at the holidays to wish you happy holidays, and they're really, really great people. So my girlfriend, the first girl that I really fell in love with, right? I was just a little guy. But I was in love with this girl, and she was going to France as an exchange student, and she left behind an Alice in Wonderland book and she wanted me to read it. And she basically said when she got back, she was going to quiz me on it. And that quiz was, there was a lot of importance put on that quiz. Let's put it that way. So I read the book and I got really, really into it. And then I'm not going to lie, I read it once, really under the influence of some pretty heavy stuff. And it's not the kids' book that people think it is. It's a pretty heavy book, man. It really is. There's a lot of really heavy stuff in there. It's definitely not written for kids. There's a lot of political stuff in there. And I got very, very into it, right? And I started to collect the books. And as I went around skiing, I went places where I could hit libraries and steal them. Just telling you the truth. Stole a lot of Alice in Wonderland books. Bought a lot of Alice in Wonderland books. Have a lot of Alice in Wonderland art. I have rare printings. I have really rare printings. I have books that were printed with mistakes in them, which makes them ludicrously rare. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Alice books. The girl, she left a very big mark on my life, but Alice didn't leave me. She did, but I've been with Alice ever since. And my whole sleeve, all this is all Alice stuff. Like every part of that is all. I got the Cheshire Cat, I got the bunny, I got the Mad Hatter, and I got the Dormouse. Can you post his address info? I am an SA survivor and I have a few things to say to him. Plus, he's such a narcissist that I bet you he reads his mail. He won't be sleeping after all. No, he will not, Mara. I'll tell you what, we will get that address and I'll put it in the Dropbox for this video. I will get his address. Now, mailing to him now, what you can do is you can mail it to the system. It's probably not, unless you're going to mail it in the next couple of days, it may or may not get to him because this is not, I mean, it will get to him, but it's going to follow him. The address he's at now, this is not his final destination. This is where he's going to do his classification and his intake. This is where he's going to go out and see psych. He's going to go out and see medical. He's going to go out and handle all of that BS. The dentist, you go through all that because now you're their property and they're going to want to keep you alive for as long as possible. Wonderland was a dark place in reality. It really was. And it was filled with politicians and other weird people that were alive in that time. And the more you study that, the better. If you're into Alice, there you need to get the annotated version. Martin Gardner? Yeah, Martin Gardner was the author that wrote it. And the best is the 150th anniversary version of it. I think I got it here. The 150th anniversary of Alice. And this is the annotated version, so it tells you everything that you ever wanted to know. And this was a version, I mean, it explains things that seem to not have much meaning. And I had this one this was actually a gift. Somebody mailed this into me for a birthday gift whilst I was incarcerated. So that book went from prison to prison with me. You know, that book is beautiful. Yeah, it absolutely is. It is a lovely book. Now, you know what's great? I have the original annotated Alice book in an original printing, and I have it signed by the author. I have the second, which it was called More Annotated Alice. I have an original printing of More Annotated Alice signed by the author. Like, I got a lot of Alice, people. I really got into Alice. I have a postcard from Charles Ludwig Dodson, the guy that wrote the book, the guy that became Lewis Carroll. I have a postcard that he signed. Yeah, I got a lot of really cool stuff. I saved a lot of, I collected a lot of Alice in Wonderland stuff over the years. I am a big Alice in Wonderland fan. I'm making you feel weirder? What? No Jabberwocky? 'Twas Brillig and the Slithy Toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the Borogroves and the Momraths outgrade. He took his vorpal sword in hand. Long time Manxome Moe he sought, so rested he by the tum-tum tree, waited a while and thought. Come on, people. No, there's some Jabberwock there. I actually kind of skipped the first verse because it was boring and went into the fun part. But yes, that's the... Were you aware that Alice in Wonderland is the book that's on every Scientology table that they use for many learning procedures? I was aware of that, actually. It bums me out to no end, if you want to know the truth. I am aware of that. And not the only cult to have, yes, Bandersnatch. The Fumiest. Oh, yeah, I'm done. I can't talk now. My tongue has gone to shun the frumious Bandersnatch. There you go. Do you know that in Central Park, the statue of Alice in Wonderland in Central Park has a misprinting on the poem? The Jabberwocky poem is on it, and it says, "'Twas Brillig and the Slithy Toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the Borogroves," with an R. That's what it says in Central Park, but it's supposed to be Borogoves instead of Groves. And I argued with the guy that did the tour as like a 16-year-old or a 15-year-old. I'm like, you're wrong. And he's like, trust me, I'm not. Do you have any idea how long I've been doing this tour? I'm like, yeah. You got any idea how many times I've read this poem? You got it wrong. It's Borogoves. And the guy told me that if I was correct, he would take me to lunch. How's that? And he did. Signed by Lewis Carroll. What? Signed by Lewis Carroll. I have no. I do not have any Alice books signed by Lewis Carroll. The books I have are signed by Marvin Gardner, who wrote the original annotated version of Alice and the second annotated version, where all of the nuances of the book are explained in excruciating detail. So things like, what is meant when he writes the nonsense stuff, right? You lost me, still singing White Rabbit. That's okay. Cruise with the White Rabbit. Nothing wrong with singing White Rabbit. And if you go chasing rabbits, then you know you're going to fall. Yeah, see, again, that's just one more cool Alice thing right there. Question, Tommy, your Alice in Wonderland thing really ups your cool factor. I didn't see that coming. Most people tell me that it does not. If you knew how many times I've had people say to me, ooh, there's something kind of creepy about that. I don't know. I just dig it. I really, really dig it. And I probably know more about it than the next guy. And I don't think that there is anybody. Wow, Dubious Maximus got there. I didn't see that coming. He's usually pretty cool. I'm sorry to hear that. I wonder what old Dubious did. Was that intentional, Calhoun? Do we know? Bit of a bummer. But if it was an accident, maybe we could fix it. If it was not, I don't know. But we're closing in on it. So you do know that Gypsy Rose, what's her name, is out. I'm going to have to probably comment on that, people, because, well, damn it, it's just fascinating, isn't it? And it's one of those things that I don't think I cannot comment on, right? Simply put, I don't think it's something that I can't comment or cannot not comment on. Cannot not. What did I think about Johnny Depp's version? Oh, that's a really good question. Oh, nice. You got some cool stuff too. Very cool. Very cool. Gypsy Rose Blanchard. There you go. That's what it is. Very, very odd case. She bought new shoes today. Well, that's good. Yeah, email me. I am always very big into showing off Alice stuff. I have I really have, like, my Alice stuff. A lot of it's very rare. I have a snow globe from an Alice snow globe that was a mistake from Disney, where they put the wrong. It's supposed to play Golden Afternoon, and it says on the bottom that it plays Golden Afternoon. You know the song? I know Calhoun does, because he watched the cartoon version of Alice in Wonderland more than any poor child that ever lived. If your dad was Tommy Scoville, you watched a lot of Alice in Wonderland. But it was supposed to play the cats and rabbits who reside in fancy little houses. Hey, you know what? No problem, brother. You do what you do, Calhoun. You have the shotgun. But it's supposed to play cats and rabbits. Instead, Disney put in Playful Puppies, which is the song that is played for, what do you call it? 1001 Dalmatians or 135 Dalmatians or whatever the hell the name of that show was. You know what that show was? It was what my kid wanted to watch when he should have been watching Alice in Wonderland. I hated that puppy movie. What was it called, Calhoun? 101 Dalmatians? Is it 101? Yeah, he's nodding. I think it's 101. There you go. Sweet Liberty says 101 Dalmatians. From my very limited knowledge of Gypsy Rose, it's the saddest thing that she was in prison as long as she was. What her mother did to her was horrible. Her mother has got to be smoking turds in hell. I'm sorry. That was an evil woman. That's the song that is on my Alice in Wonderland snow globe. Hold on. Do I have it here? I do not. It's in one of the other rooms. But I have an Alice snow globe that plays the wrong song. And when I reached out to Disney to tell them that, I said, hey, man, this thing doesn't play. It's supposed to play Golden Afternoon. And they went, oh, we're so sorry. Tell you what, we will give you a replacement one, and we will give you your money back. We're also going to give you, and I was like, whoa, you're doing all of this? You know what? Maybe I'll keep this. Because it seemed to me like they wanted it back really, really bad. Can I get a wrench to put up my mailing address? Please? Calhoun, can you put it up there? Do you know it? Okay, yeah, Calhoun, you'll get it. It's 173 Sunrise Avenue, I think is something like that. Benita, I gotta agree with Benita on this one. I'm sorry. I hope this doesn't bum anybody out, but I gotta agree with Benita on this. I think this is pretty astute. If you want to know the truth, it's all fine that Gypsy Rose is out, but she manipulated and enticed her fragile boyfriend to do the killing, and she left his ass rotting in prison for life. It's unforgivable. I'm bummed out about the kid. I am bummed out about the kid. He was touched. He was not he just wasn't, I don't think he had the capacity to really have an appreciation for exactly what that's just sad. It really is. It's sad. Nobody in that, there's nobody in there that wins. I'm not at all bummed out that the mother, left the planet. I really am not. She was a horrendous human being. I mean, as bad a human being as there could be. Could somebody else post that address one more time if we could find it? Yeah, no, Jen gets it. I don't disagree about Gypsy's boyfriend. His story is sad. It really is. It really is. But what's worse is that, I mean, I think that there were a lot of signposts along the way, a lot of canaries in the coal mine along the way that could have shortened the duration of the. Thank you, Charlie Murphy. So you can send to Tommy Scoville at or Lifeboat or Chase the Heat or Johnny Scoville, whatever you want, at 4764 East Sunrise Drive, number 173, Tucson, Arizona, 85718. You think so? Tommy, amazing how a woman can affect a man. You love Alice because it's a woman, and that boy, yeah, yeah. I think I am I really do have a serious love for Alice. I really do. She's an amazing character. There is something so pure about that kid, uh, the Alice character, and it was great. I think that there is Alice in every single child, male, female, whatever. Spanx was just the most inquisitive little. Um, it was incredible. It really was, and his vocabulary at 5 was better than most people's at 18. So it was so much fun just having a conversation with the little guy. He would floor people with the things that he said. It was really, really funny. Martha, you're a sweetheart. Yeah, I believe that. She testified against him at his trial and admitted consistently that she talked him into it. Why was no one stood up for his fragility? You know what? It wasn't as good a story, sadly. That's what it comes down to. It wasn't as good a story. And we see this happen all the time. Wendy Walker. You love that I love Alice. Well, good. I dig Alice. I really do. I'm a huge Alice guy. In fact, I don't think I collect my watches. I probably collect more watches than I do Alice stuff, but that probably goes back to Alice as well. You know what I mean? My love affair with watches probably dates back to the early days of Alice. Oh, well, a woman did get me to read the book, to be sure. And you know what? That woman floored me. I'm not going to lie. I never got over her. I never did. I'm thinking about her still, and it was a long time ago. Address to the Lifeboat, address to Tommy Scoville, address it to whatever you want. The male people are already coming to grips with what it means that that we get a lot of mail. It's all good. So they said as long as it doesn't get out of control, we're good. It might get out of control, and if it does, we'll figure something else out. But as of right now, go ahead and send whatever you like. You know what? Calhoun is 100% right. He really is. This is a great comment. I'm sorry. It really is. Women have done amazing things for my father, says Calhoun, and he's right, including his mom. I've been very, very blessed in the women that have come in and out of my life. I really have. I've been very, very blessed. They haven't, sadly, but I have. Every one of them greatly affected me, and I am a better man for every single one of them that I met. Um, Yes, cats, bats, and flowers. Munchausen's by proxy. I think that there's a decent chance that was what was going on. Although with the profit in it, I think when you think about Munchausen's and Munchausen's by proxy, where a parent injures a child, I always attribute that to the attention, and maybe Gypsy Rose's mom was thriving on the attention, but to me, it almost seemed like a hustle more than anything else. If that makes sense. Like I really think for her, it was just a profit thing. Not that that makes it any better. I just think she was more of a criminal than a someone with a mental illness. I could be wrong. That's an opinion, That's all that is. Women have been the rise and fall of nations throughout history. Too many feminists have forgotten that the true power of women lies in the fact that she's a woman. You know what, Lady J? That's a hell of a comment. I want to tell you something. I may offend people from time to time, but I am the greatest defender of women on planet Earth. I am a huge, huge lover of women, all of them. I prefer the good old-fashioned real ones, but I love them all. Tommy, very personal question. What size t-shirt do I wear? I wear an XL in almost every shirt company in the world, occasionally a 2X. I'm a pretty big dude. When people meet me in real life, the first thing I get is, you know what? You're a lot bigger than I thought you were going to be. I get that a lot. Thank you, Lady J. This is a great comment. It really was a great comment. Yes. Well, you know what? It doesn't seem that personal. If you knew the personal questions, back in the day, it was a lot worse. We got on this underwear kick for a really long time here on the boat. I blame Seventh Son. But there was a long discussion about underwear for a really long time. Seventh has kept people laughing for a really long time, Martha, through good times, through bad times. Seventh has been consistently a pillar on the boat from as far back as you could take the boat, literally. I mean, I don't think there was a time there wasn't. How tall am I? I'm 6'2". 6'2". 6'2", about 201 pounds. 202 pounds, right around there. What about Johnny Depp? Here's the thing on Johnny Depp. I'm not sure how to answer this because I know people who are working on a story that they've been working on for a really long time. And Johnny Depp is in the story. It's got nothing to do with Amber Heard. It's got nothing to do with anything that's been in the news. But Johnny Depp is in that story, and it's kind of, I don't know. I've always been a very big Johnny Depp fan. I'm not as much of one right now as I have been. And I may come out and end up talking about it. So we'll see. But because I'm working on some stuff. Nice. Sanitarium said, since Snotface got here, I wanted to say no panties. Nice. But I have, okay. You have shut the heck up until that moment. Okay, good. Balake Richardson says 293 of us and 238 likes. We can do better, everybody. Appreciate you, Balake. I really do. Debbie P says Johnny Depp is a good man. I've been a fan for a really long time. I've got something that we'll talk about. There's just an issue, but it has nothing to do with a woman. It's got nothing to do with anything like that. It's just something that bummed me out, but we'll talk about it. I promise. But I've been a Depp fan for a long time, but we'll talk about it. I promise it's not the time because I got a minute and a half left. If I did this right now, people, we'd be here for an hour. And everybody, look, don't hate Tommy for anything. I have not said anything bad about Johnny Depp. And if I do, it won't be on this show. I'm kidding. I'm going to say anything bad about. Tell a Hunter S. Thompson story. You know what, Calhoun? I got a minute left. But I got a pretty good Hunter S. Thompson story. But maybe I'll do it on the next one. You know what the S stands for? Stockton. Hunter Stockton. Colberry Haystack. You be good. We have a minute left in the show. You be good. There's only a minute left in the show. All right, everybody. That does bring us to the top of the hour. Ben, the Dust Farter Turner says 6'4". Feel your pain. There you go. Stockton Thompson. I see why you shortened it. Yeah. That, it just sounds like you were named after, the capital of California. And he was. Christy says, barely 5 feet tall. And if you've ever seen Christy, you can tell. Christy's she looks like a pixie. Just a short and cute. She's fantastic. She really is. She's the queen of the normies. And a great friend of the boat. All right, everybody. I am Captain Tommy Scoville. Can you see this? That is a cat in a basket. All right, everybody. We will see you on the next one. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. And thank you for those who stuck around till the end. You can contact me at sober@myyahoo.com. Kenya, have a good night. To the rest of you, God bless you. Squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. You hear that? They're chanting your name, kitty. Have a great night, everyone. Bye-bye.